Hi, Shin. How you doing? I'd like to introduce you to my first car. This is my rear-engine dragster. I've been racing this one since probably '84, and that's where I got my feet wet with dragsters. I raced bugs prior to that, but they got a little kitey for me before all this trick suspension came around in the '90s. So I decided to go to a dragster. After driving a dragster, I don't know that I could go back to anything that had doors on it again. But anyway, this is it. This is my first one. This is what we call a rear engine dragster. So basically, the engine sits in the back behind the driver. I also have a front engine dragster, but this is the one that I'm racing here today. This particular one is blown on alcohol. So we have two turbos here that pump air into the cylinders. It runs on methanol. We run about 30 pounds of boost. The engine is 3,500 cc's. It makes about 600 horsepower. Best ET we've run so far is 763 at 167. And that's not bad, and it's semi-reliable. We tear this engine apart after every event and look at the rod bearings and make sure we're okay. The fuel system on this thing is old school. It's mechanical injection. So we have a set of nozzles here that run when it's unblown. So when it's idling, it's running off of these nozzles. These nozzles up here have check valves inside of them, and when the fuel pressure reaches 20 pounds, then these come on. With mechanical injection, your fuel pressure starts off at around 2 to 3 pounds, and then it ramps clear up to, in this case, 100 pounds of fuel pressure. So anyway, that's all getting shoved down the motor, and there you have it. We have a 2-speed power glide transmission here that we've adapted with a special flywheel that I made, and then it's just a Ford 9-inch rear end. The one thing about dragsters is there's no suspension. Correct. So what we do is when they make the frames, they make them flex, and that's our suspension. So when we're going down the track, the car will actually go like this, hump up. Okay, so it's kind of a weird sensation. When you leave the starting line in one of these things with no suspension, you don't spend any energy going down. It's forward. So this car here will cover 60 feet from a dead stop in 1.01 seconds. 60 feet, 1 second, gone. So if you want to look inside the driver's compartment, let me walk around the other side here and I'll explain how this all works. So basically I sit here and I get strapped down beyond belief. My arms are strapped down, my head's strapped down, crotch is strapped down. I mean, if you're claustrophobic, forget it, okay? So here's the controls. This is obviously a steering wheel. This is what we call a trans brake. So what it does is it locks it into first and reverse at the same time. So the car can't move. When I let go of the button, it takes it out of reverse. Hey, there's forward, and away we go. This one here is for nitrous. Now I have a nitrous bottle on here, but it's only used to get me up to boost. As soon as the intake manifold sees 10 pounds, it shuts off whether I'm on the button or not. Okay, so basically the way you drive this thing is you get it into the lights in low gear, down here, hit the trans brake, hit the nitrous, put your foot all the way to the floor, okay? And then let go of this and away you go. When this little light comes on, you bang this in the second gear and you're off. When you hit the finish line, the first thing you do is you reach over here. I'm not going to pull it now, but this is your parachute. Okay, so you let off the throttle, hit the parachute. That slows things down in a hurry. And then when the engine comes down to an idle, okay, I shut the fuel off, which is over here. Okay, there is a little button here that says push button, stupid. This is for the recorder. My crew gets really upset at me when I don't push the button because then we can't record we don't have any data of what the engine did. This is just simply a mag on off. Okay, so we never shut the engine off with the mag unless we have to. Okay, we always shut it off with the fuel because there's so much fuel going into the engine that it will hydraulic. So we just shut it off here. This little button over here is my radio, so I can crack jokes at my crew members. This one here, I hope we never have to use. This is a fire bottle, so there's fire extinguisher all over it. But that's about it.
One question, so what's on the screen? So what do you see during
Okay, on the screen here, I don't have the battery, but basically we have the RPMs here. We will have fuel pressure here. We will have oil pressure here. And we will have boost pressure here. Then I can scroll this. I can hit this button over here, and it'll bring up all the how hot every single cylinder is.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it's called EGTs, exhaust gas temperatures, and it'll show me 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically what we're looking for is nothing over, 1,200 degrees. And the other thing is when we go down the track, we want to make sure they're all even.
So actually, you checking this screen?
No way, no how. On my other car, we move this screen up there because I don't have time to look at it. Yeah. So the nice thing about this car is that the engine's behind you. So if there's a problem, it's behind you. The bad thing about rear engine cars is when you sit in front of the tires or in front of the engine, when you're going down the track, the rear end can make a move and then you're playing catch up. All of a sudden, oh boy, I'm out of shape. I need to turn the steering wheel, okay? When a front engine car, when you sit behind the rear end, when the rear end makes a move, you're already on top of it. So I'm running this one today. The nitro car, the front engine nitro car is getting kind of loud here, is down, and I'm hoping to get it back together probably next year. So that's about it. You're welcome.